everyone. I am so excited for today's presentation. I saw Manny at ISTE and he was so funny, so personable, and just enjoyable. And I was like, I have to get this guy on for other educators that were not at ISTE. And he is just so much fun. So if you could in the chat, let us know where you're joining from. And I'm going to go ahead and bring up Manny. So welcome, Manny. And he is just so much fun. So if you could in the chat, let us know where you're joining from.
Trying to put this back. I'm sorry. I'm like, I can hear my echo. I'm like, I know I have another screen open. That's me. I'm a hot mess. I'm sorry. Oh no, I'm spicy disaster is what my coworkers.
Oh, spicy. Oh, I like that.
Oh, Manny. Thanks. I'm like, okay, I found the echo window and I closed it.
The echo window.
I'm like, I can hear you twice.
Funny. And doesn't Manny look great today? I love his shirt.
Oh yeah, look, there's Sebastian's. I'm a kid. I taught first, second, and third. So I'm a kid in heart.
And then what do you do now, Manny, for everybody that's watching live?
So I am an EdTech coach for Sci-Fair IZ in Texas. We're a big district. And I support technology. Half the time I have 10 campuses. And then my other time, because we have so much time, I have I support the content, which is the world language department. So every teacher in middle and high that teach world languages like Spanish, French, German, all of those, I support directly. So I love that fact that my district does that. That there's 3 people in the school that can help teachers. Like we have liaisons that live in that campus. We have 1 tech person that is just technology for the campus, and then we have 1 attached to the content. So 3 people that can help teachers. How cool is that?
And you have 3 people to collaborate with too, it sounds like.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that is nice. Because like in our district, it's me and then like 2 other, and we're at different grade bands, different buildings. So
yeah. Oh no. We're all in the same office.
Okay, that's
same
nice.
little room. So it's cool because whenever we were doing all this hot mess of a year with trying to explain the Schoology to everybody, we will put people on hold, and I'm like, hey, and you will ask your team, and you will learn so much. Hey, anybody had this issue before? And they will tell you, and they will coach. It was great. I love it. We're better together always.
That is true though, because we do have the same problems, so we just need each other.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, you ready to show off your awesome presentation from ISTE?
Yes. Oh my God. The feedback that I got is, yes, I'll go slow, but this is recorded, honey. Okay. So pause it. You can go you can go 0.5 the speed. I get excited. Okay. This is just me. English is not my first language. So sometimes I don't make sense. So just know that I'm going to show you lots of examples. So yes, I'm super excited. Let me show you where you're going to, audio. There you go. Let me do this. Okay, there you go. Hide. You can see my screen?
Yep, we can see your screen and you're ready to run.
So this is my website. And then if you could put in the chat, like I could put in the chat. So it's bit.ly and then Manny Sessions. I put it in the chat. If you go to Sessions, this is where all the stuff that I have coming up it's there. I'll be feature presenter here. This is face-to-face. If you're in Texas, you can totally come. Digital Learning Conference. This is all free. So just click there and then just show up. There's no registration. We have lots of big people named that are coming. And then this is the actual presentation. Look how cool it looks. This is genially. So I can literally go through the slides here, but I'm not going to do that because it's really small. So I'm going to make it really big. And I know you're probably going to miss the link, but it's embedded in all the little session, like all the slides down here. It's bit.ly Manny Sessions, and it will take you to my website where the slides are that you can always go back. So I said, like, I'm an EdTech specialist. I support the LOTE languages other than English. And people are like, I don't know what LOTE is. It's just world language. So I'm both a Google and a Microsoft trainer because my district is both Google and Microsoft. let me pause this video thing that I was watching, and I think I'm gonna go to the future. I'm also watching the chat because I know you're gonna have questions, so I'm going to be looking for questions or comments or whatever. It's all in there. I can see it. All right, you see that white is not my color. I don't like simple. To me, more is more. Okay, so I like black and make it loud and this and that, and just make it appealing to the eye. I like, a good wrapping. Oh my gosh, this YouTube thing. Okay, all right. So on the chat, please tell me about you, your role, where are you from, if you're a teacher, or if you're admin, let me know, so what kind of audience I have, because it matters. And then look how cool this is. This is called Click to Tweet. This is something you can use with your teachers, because teachers have got to get into Twitter. I learned and I met so many people on Twitter. So you create a free account. And look how cool this is. You click on it, and it automatically opens up your Twitter, and it loads a message for you. How cool is that? Well, this is for ISTE, because that's the session I did for ISTE. Yeah. All righty. Oh, whoops. I lost my window. I think it's this one. It's not that one. It's this one. There you go. Let me go back. There you go. Okay, so it's called Click to Tweet. It's free. We love free. It's my favorite F word. All right, online PD. This is why you're here. And I'll see you participating in the chat. I'm gonna call you out because I know there's people watching. All right, so you got to think about why synchronous versus asynchronous. Like, what's the differences between both of them? Why would you want to do it online if face-to-face just works fine? You also have to think about where you're hosting, like what program is going to be holding your package. Is it going to be in your LMS? You're going to do it in Google Classroom or in Teams, or where you're going to put all that content. Where is it going to be hosted? You also have to think about how you're going to be recording your videos, and then how are you going to be collecting your work from your teachers. And hopefully you're going to give teachers an experience that they'll feel inspired, like, oh, this is really cool. So the teachers will mimic what they went through and create something similar for their students. So that's my hope. And it has happened. But I want to show you some examples. And it's so cool. Ah, look at that. People are always talking now. I love it. Academic, instructional coach. Hi, Maria, Jennifer, and Jeff. Okay, love it. Just keep it coming. See? All righty. So EdTech, like online learning, is a big deal. And this happened right the last day of ISTE. They released this video interview that I did with EdTech Magazine, K through 12. It is like, OMG, I watched it and I cried with everything. I'm probably going to cry in this session. Trust me. So it is hosted online. I'm not going to play the video because you can totally do that yourself. And I explained why EdTech is important and why, not EdTech, online learning. So anyway, so it's there. Look, I do all kinds of crazy things with the green screen to keep teachers and students, get it together, girl. All right, so here, there's the interview. To me, it was like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. It is something that you really need to consider, doing it online. Okay, so this is just my experience, what we were doing. Synchronous is when you're doing face-to-face. And when I first started doing all my trainings face-to-face, it's just things happen. I will have my roster completely full. I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting. I'm going to have a full, the whole thing is going to be full because I even have a waiting list and I was so excited. But then life happens. I have friends that will text me. I'm like, I'm sorry, Manny, I'm not going to be able to make it. I have to go and do this and that. Or I have a parent that showed up and, things always happen. You have to do your training before school, after school, and my least favorite, planning time. Teachers like to do things, right? I'm like, and then you're taking your planning away. It's like, OMG, no. So after school, teachers are exhausted and you have a very limited amount of time. because they're tired. Hello, you have to go. And then there's less interaction because who is one to want to ask questions in front of everybody? I do. Because since English is not my language, I always ask just because I want to know. But they really teachers don't do it. Students don't do it either. So it just doesn't happen. So, and Saturdays. Talk about Saturdays. Who wants to give a whole Saturday? Families always come first. That's what my boss says. And I honestly believe family comes first. So it's hard to give up a whole Saturday. That's ideal because you can actually pack it and make an experience, more enjoyable. But it's a lot of time. It's like a whole day, even if it's a half a day. But you will still have less interaction. If you do as asynchronous, which is everything's online, you have a longer period of time. Depending on how long this training is going to be, you can give them from 1 week or 2 weeks. If it's like an 8-hour course, we give them 2 weeks because that's intense. You can pack a lot more in there because you have more time, right? I like to do stations, and I'm going to show you concrete examples of what I mean. I like to, for example, for Flipgrid, I don't know what kind of teacher I'm going to have, and I'm not a fan of yapping like what I'm doing right now, just yapping in front of on the board for 45 minutes, and then everybody's just sitting and getting. I want people to create things. So I don't know if the teacher that I'm getting is new to Flipgrid, or is already kind of familiar with Flipgrid, or is really good at Flipgrid. They just need to know all the new features. So whenever I have, for example, my Flipgrid class, I have all these stations. If you're new, this is where you start. And if you're kind of not new, but you have some idea of Flipgrid, then this is the station. This is the skills that I think you might need. And then the teachers pick what they want to learn because they know their students and they know what they will want to learn. Every classroom is different. Every teacher is different. So I give them options. And that's something that I want to model so teachers will do the same thing with their kids rather than, I need you to complete this. So give them options, okay? And then there's more interaction because for some odd reason, and you've seen it in social media, people feel super comfortable because there's nobody around them. It's just a screen, and they're more open to share personal stuff, even though they know it's going to be watched by others, but because there's nobody in front of them, it's easier. So why not use that, right? And then my advantage. Okay, so that's why we think asynchronous, the online works a lot better. All righty. Now, where are you hosting your training? If you click here on info, I'm telling you what my story was. I did started with Google Classroom. I'm not going to read all this. And then I move into Google Sites. And this is what I'm telling you, all my little things. So if you click on the info, I'm telling you more about what happened. So I started with Google Classroom and it worked fine. But then I'm I want to theme out my classes. I want to make them what you're watching right now. I want to make them fun with graphics. I want things to move. And you cannot do that in Google Classroom. I mean, you can change the color, you can change the picture on the top, but that didn't do it for me. And I wanted teachers to learn from other teachers. I wanted everybody to learn from each other. So I moved into Google Sites, and I had a lot more freedom to embed things like a Wakelet in where teachers will go and submit their work, and other teachers can go back and watch what other people were doing and learn from each other. And I love it. I love Google Sites because it's very easy. It's limited, but you still have a lot of leeway with the creativity that you can use. Then I discovered Teams, and I said, OMG, this is amazing. I can put my Google site and embed it into Teams, and everything will be in one place. We can have our conversations there. It was OMG, amazing. I love Teams. My district is very Google heavy, and teachers were having a really hard time learning Teams and then learning about WeVideo or Edpuzzle or whatever it is that they were learning from me. So I chose to go back to Google Sites and just leave it like that because it was easier for them. So love Teams, but my teachers couldn't handle it just because it was too much of a struggle for them to learn it. Because, but it might not be. It might work for you, right? Then there's other platforms you can do trainings in Genially and then Wakelet, right? Generally is the one that show me how to do trainings in Wakelet, which is, I have an example for you. So you can do trainings like in slides, like what you're seeing right now, or Genially, and Genially. I was confused with Genially. So Genially is a group of two ladies from Texas that I love. Anyways, so think about where you're going to be hosting your training. And then recording your videos. Screencastify used to be my ultimate favorite app of choice because it's free. It was easy to just click and it automatically downloads into Google Drive. Love it. But then my district bought WeVideo, and I am in love with WeVideo because you could do a lot more things with WeVideo that Screencastify doesn't let you use. But I give teachers a choice. Like, I don't care how you record. You can use Zoom because a lot of teachers are familiar with Zoom. You can record in Screencastify. You can record in Flipgrid Shorts. Use whatever camera you want. I just need a video. I do give them tutorials for all of this. So when you click on the actual image, it will give you the tutorial that my teachers will watch. So isn't it cool? Like, I give you the info here. How cool this Genially is. And it's there's a premium, but you have free, unlimited, blank, and then a lot of templates are free. Free. It's amazing. And it doesn't look all cluttered, right? Because of the videos. Okay, so I have the videos here, and then the information down below. So think about how you're going to record your videos, and then are your teachers going to be recording their videos? That's important. What is it that you have available in your district so your teachers are familiar with, right? We also have Hovercam, but any document camera it's not hard. They're all like, their software is easy. So, all right, so that's on videos. And then collecting work. I am all for people learning from each other. Usually, if you have Google Classroom, the student will submit work to the teacher, and the teacher is the only one who watches, like who looks at that stuff. I'm like, I already know this. I want my teachers to look at somebody else's work, like learning from each other. So you create a learning community using Wakelet and Flipgrid. So in the beginning of my class, and I'll show you again, I have plenty of examples because I am almost done with my slides. So I have in the beginning of my class, like for example, if I'm going to teach them how to use WeVideo, I show them what WeVideo is, and I show them some examples from teachers, from students, and some of my examples. And then I ask them, I need you to go to Flipgrid and record, what are the limitations that you see? How do you feel right now? And do you see yourself doing this? Something like that. Because I think I change it here and there. And sometimes they tell me like, oh my gosh, Flipgrid, really, Manny? I sign up to learn WeVideo, not Wakelet, not Flipgrid, but WeVideo. And I love taking teachers out of the comfort zone. Because I tell them, oh, I'm sorry, don't you do the same thing with your students? You push until they give in and they do it, and then they realize it's amazing and then they'll love it. Yes, right? Exactly. So I put them through that, and then they can choose to do a filter or just their voice. Sometimes they put their finger. I don't care. I just want to hear their thought process. That's what I want. So they take the class, they do the stations. Depending on the class, it's how many stations I want them to include. And then at the end of the class, there's another Flipgrid. And then to ask them, like, how do you feel right now? And how are you gonna use this in your classroom? And how are you gonna incorporate it? Or what ideas you have or something like that. So at the end, if this person told me, OMG, I don't want this, I didn't want to learn this, it's too much. At the end, they go like, OMG, this is amazing. Thank you for pushing me. I can totally see myself and my students using WeVideo and Wakelet and Flipgrid, and they go on and on about how cool it was, because they're not creating a Flipgrid account. They're not creating any of this. They're just clicking and recording and experiencing that, because that's our job, to push teachers to implement technology. I'm not expecting them to do everything, to go home and then open a Wakelet account and be proficient at Wakelet. I just want them to feel and to see what it looks like. So whenever they're reading the lesson plan, it was like, oh, I can do this in Flipgrid because I took a class with Manny and he made me do this, and I think this applies. So to give them tools that they might be able to use later, I'm not saying that they have to go and research everything, but I do want to expose them to things that I think that are very beneficial for their classroom. All right, so I might be asking for questions in a little bit, so I'm looking at the chat, people. All right, so, and there's other platforms that you can collect work, but these, and I give you some examples if you click in there, but Wakelet and Flipgrid are my two go-tos. Why? Because they're free. And I love free. So yeah, so that's what I use. Alrighty, so are you ready? We have lots of time for me to give you examples because I have lots and lots of examples to show you. So if you go, you can go to my website. I have some examples there, but I already have, like, this is the tweet. Okay, so this is a class that I have. This is an active class that I have. Hey, Michael, you're here. Alrighty, so this is the same format. Usually I have the same format throughout my classes. I like, this is me, this is my Twitter handle. I always encourage teachers to use Twitter because, oh my gosh, just the connections that you make. It's the most awesome, like, this is not even English, the most awesomeness free PD you could possibly have. Okay, Twitter. When they have used tools systems first. Yes, Danielle, so true. Sometimes teachers feel like they know everything, especially if they're in secondary because they only teach one thing. They don't know how it feels to not know. And I do want them to experience that again. So they are more empathetic to students. So yes, I totally agree. Love it, love it, love it. Struggle. There's like something that Vygotsky said, like the zone of a proximal, I don't know, something like that. Exactly. What it is like if you struggle enough, but you can still do it, you'll let them struggle to a point that they can still be successful and the teacher can come and help them, but let them figure it out on their own. Let them discover how cool something is because it becomes stickier. It just sticks better because there's an emotion attached to it. All right, so I give them like, this is what we're learning. And I tell them that we have a district license. And then this is, I have, and I suggest you do this. I have promo videos. Let me remove the video. I have a promo video for every class I teach. So let me make this bigger. So I'm like, oh, look. So I'm modeling the things you can do in WeVideo. It gives you superpowers. WeVideo gives you superpowers. So I'm giving them a little lecture inside an iPad, which I think is really cool. And then I can say, you can fly. You can fly in a phone. I'm like, well, with WeVideo, of course. So I want them to catch their attention. Like, this is something that you're going to, yes, thank you, Danielle. Zone of proximal development. Thank you. That's what I meant. Okay, so I give them a little promo of what this class is. And again, I suggest you doing a promo. It doesn't have to be this complicated. It could be just talking. But tell teachers in 1 minute what is it that this app does and why they should be considering learning that. Then I have this signing because I want them to sign in. I want to know how many teachers I can train in a year. And this is something I'm very, very, very passionate about. I was a lone wolf. I was always trying to do everything myself. And I had no idea that a school district has an EdTech department. I did not know. So I taught everything myself. And it was very, very hard. And I don't want any teacher to feel how I felt. So this is when I tell teachers, there are 3 people assigned to you. One that lives in your campus, one that is assigned to your entire campus, and you have also one of me that works with your content. So if you have a language arts question, ask your language arts instructional technology specialist. because we work with the coordinator, we work with the coaches, and trust me, like we can give you a very educated advice on what to do and what not to do. So I love that my district does that, because we know the content and we know like how EdTech should be used. It's not like, oh, I love Flipgrid, let's use it next week, and then they go, but what? I'm like, I don't know, but I love it. Yeah, no, don't do that. So anyways, and then I have my website. You can't log in. Sorry. This is a Schoology class that I have. Well, it's not a class. It's a Schoology self-serve site that I will show you. And I created it. Whenever I show you, I'll explain it to you. But anyway, so there's a link for that. Then I have the intro class. And I tell them like, OMG, this is amazing, blah, blah, blah. And this is the welcome to the online class. And I'm going to tell them that this is the menu, because they're so familiar with having the menu on the top. And my menu is so long that you'll have the 3 lines on the side and people don't know that means menu. I just like it on the side. So I tell them how to navigate the class. Again, I tell them what WeVideo is. Well, I put a commercial for that. And why is it so cool? Then I show them examples. Well, look, this is the first reflection. Right after they watch the video and they watch my commercial, I want them to reflect. That's what this Flipgrid is. I show them examples from secondary, examples from elementary, and examples from teachers, and then my crazy examples at the bottom. And then you can also make GIFs in WeVideo. So I show them this is the things that you can do. This is also a collection from student work. This is something I suggest you do. Show them, like collect teacher examples and put them in there. So this is what other teachers have made. So I taught WeVideo in a summer camp. And then this is the videos that they created. So I want them to take a look at what first graders can do, because what first grade can do, WeVideo. Okay, so this is how I show them. Then they go to the tutorials. And then as I'm like, this is how you're going to record your stations. Like whenever you're done with all the stations, this is how you're going to record your screen. And this is how you're going to post in Wakelets. I don't expect them to know, because people don't know. They don't know what they don't know. So you just show them. You show them everything like as if they don't know anything. Some people will, some people won't. But if they don't need it, but they don't have to click on it. So it's all there. Also, like my tutorials, I don't talk through my tutorials. I have, and this is my biggest pet peeve. Like I started this bar. Oh my gosh, please click hide. So I like to show them like, I need you to click here. You do this. I don't talk, because usually when I talk, I go into tangents. I go into tell them a story, and then they get all confused. And my videos end up being very long, and I'm like, no. So I show them with arrows. How is it that I want them to do it? And the feedback that I've gotten is like, they like that. I do have tutorials in where I talk, but the majority of them, they're arrows, because I want them to. And also they tell me, I can't listen to you because I'm either in a meeting or something. They're somewhere in there, they can't play audio. Or my son is asleep, or something happened that says, I cannot hear you because I can't have the audio playing. I just want to see it. So that was my solution, and they love that. Okay, then this is where I put the law down, and I said, Haney, this is what you will do. If you want me to give you credit for this class, yes, Danielle, the arrows, I do all that in WeVideo. And then there's going to be a WeVideo summit in next week, right? And we'll show you how to do that. But yeah, I do that all in WeVideo. So I tell the teachers, if you want me to give you credit, PD credit for this, you have to have 2 Flipgrid reflections, and then they don't have to respond if they don't want to. And then I want them to do 5 different stations. And a station, it will be like add text, add media, like add music, but everything's included. So it's not really that complicated, but it's 5. I need to see that your video has 5 different elements from all the stations that I'm going to show them. And all the stations are here. All the stations, they're going to have to pick 5, whatever 5 they want. And if they want more, that's fine. So 2 Flipgrid reflections. I need to have 5 different elements from the stations. And then I want them to upload a video and Wakelet. And if they do that, then I can give them credit through the system that we have that is PowerSchool. So once they're done and they submit the video with Wakelet in the Wakelet, then I go back into PowerSchool and I give them PD credit because every teacher needs 25 or 75 every 3 years. So this is how we do it. I give them options. Okay, so once they go through the stations, let's do, I don't know, text. And I think there's a tutorial here how to add text. And I show them, this is me talking through the actual video. And I'm modeling, like this is me talking, and I'm showing them how it's that they're going to be adding text into WeVideo. Okay, and this is available on my YouTube channel. Because you can tell, I recorded that in my house. So I'm like, whatever, I want to use it for work. I recorded it in my house with my own computer. So it's fine. Anyways, and then once they're done with their stations, they're going to submit their work. So when they go to that section, I want them to do a second reflection, and then I want them to post the video that they recorded into Wakelet. Okay, so that's the whole process of the class. I introduce the concept. I ask them to do a reflection in the beginning. Then they see the stations, and then they record the reflection, and then they post their video. And then I also have, and I'm showing you this, I think is one of these 2. Yeah, Loom does, I don't know Loom, but I think even Screencastify lets you do one layer that you can add text. Yeah. So I do have a class for students because I say, your job is not to teach your students how to use WeVideo. That's my job. So I created a class in where teachers will give this bit.ly to the students, and the students will learn from me and my team how to use WeVideo. Teacher's job is to teach the content. I teach the technology. So we're trying to create like not worldwide, district-wide. Oh my gosh, district-wide classes that I can use, or that somebody like my coworker can use. But like WeVideo and Edpuzzle, that's my thing. I do those because that's what I do. All right, so I'll show you this class. I have it. I think it's either one of these 2. All right, and at the end of the class, there's another click to tweet again. So you click, and then it says like, OMG, I successfully completed Manny's class about, I don't know. And then you just put whatever tag. I don't remember what I said, but I said something nice. Okay, and once they sign up for my class, PowerSchool sends them a feedback that I never see. So I don't know what teachers are thinking. And because I do want to make my classes better, I asked them for their name not because I want to like tattletale if you're like, oh, you got a bajiggity and you told me that you didn't like me because, well, it's not like that, but that you didn't like my training or whatever. I honestly do it because there was one teacher when I was looking at my feedback, and this teacher said, I am lost. I don't know what to do. I did not enjoy this class. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I just failed this teacher because I don't know who this teacher is. So how can I help this teacher if I don't know who this person is? And I felt so bad that now I ask for your name because I want to be able to help them out. I have gotten some harsh comments, and then I look at my class and I'm like, you know what? You're right. It's not that explicit. I mean, I see it with the Manny lens. Everything is perfect because I made it, right? And everything's fine, blah, blah, blah. But for a teacher that has not experienced this, it might be overwhelming. So I toned them down. So I do look at these. It's not high school, honey. You do not have to get it all personal, okay? It's just an ETA class. And they're telling you so you can make it better. So otherwise, why are you even asking? So they'll ask for their name. My boss does not like me to make it require. She told me to take it off. So I need to take it off. She suggested that at the end, I give them an option to put their name, but I want to put their name. I need to change it. I'll change it. I just remember that. All right. Then they'll click, like, for example, WeVideo, and then they'll go next. Oh, I need to put something. It's a branched class. All I ask, look how hard it is. How was your experience? And I need anything positive or negative. That's it. Because teachers do not need to be making anything. I mean, telling me or filling out a form that is super long. All I want to know is, OMG, stop. I did not like this, or it was awesome. And then tell me why it was awesome, or why is it that you didn't have a good time, or it was okay, and how I can make it better. Because we're adults, you know, like, okay, Heather. So it should be fine. So that's all the 2 questions that I ask. I tell them, like, thank you for taking my class. Take a look at my other classes. And then this links you to my Schoology class. Okay. That I will show you. I'm looking at questions. I am not brilliant. I think I am. Well, I want to think I am, but no. Okay. So this is when they click on that Flipgrid, this is what they will see, right? I started doing GIFs because I didn't want to do another video because I have enough videos to watch. Like, how are you feeling right now? Do you see yourself using WeVideo in your classroom? That's it. And I tell them, like, I know you're probably uncomfortable, but that's where the magic happens. All right. So, and then look, I respond to every single one of their videos. And then teachers also respond to their 2 other teachers. Look, he has 5 views, 16 views, 8. Like, look at the number of views. Like, teachers are learning from other teachers, and I do this because I want other people to see how other teachers are thinking of using this app in their classroom. And this made me cry when I read this email because, okay, here we go. See, I'm telling you, like, I'm going to cry. I always cry live. I just get really passionate with this. This teacher emailed me and says, Manny, I took your class. And I was going through the Wakelet and the Flipgrid, and I connected with this teacher. It was a teacher inside the same district, obviously, but it was in a different school that taught the same grade level, and it was like language arts. I remember it was like 4th grade or something. So these 2 teachers connected and started collaborating because they were thinking of using, you know, Flipgrid and WeVideo, Edpuzzle. Oh my gosh, WeVideo and Wakelet in a similar way. So they were collaborating. They were exchanging thoughts. It's easy within your district to find somebody else's email just, you know, with a name. But I did not know that was going to happen. I didn't expect that to happen, and it was happening. And whenever I go into classrooms and I'm in the hallways, and teachers tell me that, OMG, thanks to you, I just met this other teacher on the other side of the district that is doing something similar, and now they're talking, and they get to meet people in here in my classes. So this is the awesome learning community that your teachers, can benefit. They don't need to learn always directly from you. I have collected so much knowledge from teachers. They teach me so many things. So let them learn from each other. So this is the conversation that I have on Flipgrid. And then this is the Wakelet. I start putting like this link down here that Susan submitted from Google Drive. This is not a WeVideo like here. I give them the option. They probably recorded in Screencastify, downloaded it into Google Drive and put it up there, which is totally fine. So that video is a Veterans Day video. So if there's a teacher looking for something similar, or like, oh, I want to do a video about that, they know what kind of video that is. So landform, right? And I tell them that I want a note, and then they put something and then their link. And sometimes I don't follow directions. So all I can do is put a GIF. And I think it still looks good. So look at this. I lived in feedback, and I know we have to be professional, but I'm like, girl, this is awesome, and this is crazy. So I talk to them like that, just because you have to make those connections with people. It's like, yes, we're professionals, but we're not working with lawyers. Okay, this is not corporate. Our demographic are kids. Okay, so I talk to them like we're good. We're pals. Okay, so I do give him suggestions with some of them. Well, all of them. I was like, one thing that's positive, and maybe like try doing this, or if I don't have any option, anything like, what is this? Benjamin, look at the voiceover. See, super awesome. So love it. You're acknowledging the work that they've done. Because when you watch the videos, like, oh, they did not know how to do it, and then they figure it out. Because on the video you can see. So this is what my teachers. This is how they enter in, right? Then here in my Edpuzzle, I wanted to show you that they also learn how to do Bitleys. Because that's another one of my classes. Like I have a class called OMG Becky. Look at those apps. They're totally awesome. And the funniest thing is my boss's name is Becky. So I think that makes it even better. So they learn how to do Bitleys. So they do that there. But I'm looking at the links. Like not all of them are Wii videos. And then look, I have Loom, which is fine. If you're comfortable with Loom, girl, by all means. But do whatever it makes you comfortable. As long as you get it done, it's fine. So this is how I collect the work. And everybody sees everybody's work, which that is the most amazing thing. Because the video that I want them to do with WeVideo or with Loom or whatever app is, walk me through the process of what you did. And I want to hear their thought process. And they do. And they do an amazing job. Sometimes I don't see their face, and sometimes I do. And I don't care. I just want to hear their thoughts. So this is a class that I did in Wakelet. This is what Jenna Lee showed me. So I tell them, what Adobe Spark is. This is the bit.ly for this. So I guess now you're going to be able to access my class. So I tell them what Adobe Spark for Education is. That it's free. All right. So I tell them what those 3 apps are. And I give them a little video. And then this is the intro video. Like it gives them in 1 minute, they show them what you can do in Adobe Spark, right? Okay. And then this is how these are the stations, because Adobe Spark is so easy. I don't really give them a whole list of stations. So I just like, this is how you create a new video. This is how you add text. This is how you add a picture, voice, and so forth, right? And then I also tell them, if you want to upload images or music, this is how you're going to do it. These are free. And this is when you plug in your digital citizenship. You have to model that to teachers, because I need to confess that when I was a teacher, I read in my language arts curriculum that I had to teach digital citizenship, right? And I had 3 weeks. I'm like, 3 weeks for digital citizenship? Like, Gerpa, I need to teach my kids how to make sentences and what is a heading, because that's going to be in the test. Digital citizenship is not going to be in the test. So I'm like, Gerpa, I'm going to use those 3 weeks for something that I know my students need. Because I had no idea what digital citizenship was and how important it is. So instead of doing lessons, take 2 minutes, 1 minute out of your lesson that day and show them, this is how we're going to do it, because this is what a good person will do, what a good digital citizen will do online and offline. So if you're going to use somebody else's work, you're going to have to cite, their job, because if you didn't do it, somebody else did. So you show them how, and this is how I put my plug-in with Digital Citizen, right? So to tell them that they have to cite their work, and I show them in the video, you have a credits at the end, and that's where you put it. And again, you really need to collect teacher samples, because you need to put those in the class. So be famous. So when you click here, it's going to give you it's going to go to this Wakelet, and teachers are going to be able to put their video in there, like the final product. And that way you're collecting samples from your teachers. All right. So I have, gonna run out of time. Not really. That's published. All right. So this is the class that I told you that is the WeVideo for students. I tell them, like, we have it as the whole district has it. This is some examples, for secondary, and this is some examples from elementary. And then if you want to add your videos in here, I'm collecting also samples from students. So they click here, and it's here in the Be Famous. All right. So they go to the storyline timeline, because depending on the grade that they're in, they're going to see WeVideo this way or that way. And some kids, like my first graders, they do not like this view. They don't like storyboard. They like the timeline. So in this video, I show them how to switch from one to the next. So that's why before they even start, they might have this view, the storyboard, and it's going to be confusing for them because you don't have the same features. Then I told them this is the one video for students. I tell them exactly how they're going to get started with WeVideo. And then green screen, how they're going to do green screen themselves, examples, and then how to be famous. So it's a very short little class that I have for them. How to be a good digital citizen, right? So I think in here, how to start, we did there you go. So my team did a session on elementary, middle, and high. And it's my team explaining WeVideo for 3 different demographics. So it's a little easier, like the topics are easier, for elementary, middle school, and then for high school, their projects. I think we did an interview, because like for the older kids, is how you can create a portfolio and how do you create a video to promote yourself. So that's something that elementary kids will not need, but we're showing high school students how to do that, and everything is in here. So students have access to all of this. So we do have like classes that are district-wide. This is the district-wide Edpuzzle class that I created. Look how awesome it is in Genially, right? I love it. You guys are really quiet on the chat now. It started like coming on, and I'm like, you say nothing. All right. Then you have these buttons that will take you like to the next. I love the fact that it moves. Like inside, I embedded the videos. So I really, really like this. It looks very appealing. So this way, like for example, like instead of, you can start with watching videos, but Edpuzzle gives you all these other things. So I'm trying to convince them, like instead of just watching videos, like you need to put your video inside Edpuzzle so it will give you data. So trainings are district-wide. I create, like what my boss tells me, I need you to create a district class for this, and then my other team member will do a class for something else, right? So if I'm going to do a class on Kami and I didn't create it, I can just use the link and I teach it because they created, all the content. So we can teach it face-to-face, we can teach it online, or later on I have PDFs in here. Here. So instead of like recording your lessons, I have, I didn't pull those. I didn't pull those. I'm sorry, I can't show you the PDFs. So instead of doing the videos in here, I have the actual step-by-step as a PDF, because some teachers don't want to do videos. I don't know, they like reading. So I didn't want to do text and then the picture of text and then the picture. So I created like a book-like feeling. So I'm still working on this class because I need to add the PDFs. So I created, they're like thought bubbles, and I took snapshots and I put like little like words, like first do this, second, like bullet points. It's very to the point because that's what I like. So that's what I did. Okay, so it's very appealing, simple, they're easy to follow, district-wide. So this is a class that is district-wide. They don't get credit for this. This is just for us to go and introduce. This is something that lives inside Schoology. So the menus at the bottom, it tells you like if you're watching, that's the other one that says about the phone. So this is the class that I have inside Schoology, right? They're recording your lessons. So I'm walking them like, they don't know Genially, so they don't know that this line means next, right? Full screen, it's here. They don't know, so you teach them how. And then again, like this is what we're gonna be covering. Take a look at this little finger right here, and it tells you where all the interactivity, because they're not familiar with Genially, so you have to show them that. These are the station. This is what we're gonna cover. And then you just click on the button, and it will take you to that station, right? Okay. So again, sign in, my little 2 cents, and then the promo video is here for recording your lessons. It's the same format that you saw on the Google site. It's just packaged differently because I'm exposing them to Genially, right? I do like to put like little quotes here because I tell them it doesn't say you have to be the best. You're not going to be the best of the best. I'm just telling you that instead of doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, just do a little better next time. Like find, you can like recording, it will make you reach more students. So I didn't know how to do anything else other than a whole group, and I did it, even though when I was a student, I did not like it. When I came to the States, that's what they did, and I didn't like it. And it hurt me because I'm like, I could not follow because my English was horrible. But I did it because I didn't know any other way. Then I found out, oh, I can record my classes. And then I knew better, and I did better. It doesn't say you have to be the best of the best on everything. You just, try to do a little better next time. So this is the first Flipgrid. This is like how I convince teachers to record their lessons. This is done in WeVideo. And it's just a slide. And look, I'm dancing. And then I'm telling them like the benefits of recording themselves. Yes, and I'm going to be dancing. I'm going to snap my fingers. And then the new thing shows up. That's appealing. It catches your eye. Right. This is where I put the law down. This is what you need. So again, it's the same format. This is the Apple review. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know. I remember when I first came to this country and I wanted milk, and my mom was like, get some milk. So I go and I'm like, oh my God, there's like 5 fridges with milk. I just want milk. I don't know. What is this 2%? What does this game means? So teachers don't know. And because there's a lot of apps. So I recorded like, this is what Flipgrid does, and this is what it doesn't do. This is what video does. So they'll go into the stations, and I give them like it's a minute of an overview of that. So this will take you to like the first station. And so I'm going to go with WeVideo. I tell them that this is how you record in WeVideo. This is the video of how you switch this, right? And then you will watch another video here. And then this is the one station. And then if I want to go back to another station, I'll go to like the next one. I don't know, let's do Flipgrid. So they learn about the Flipgrid camera. They tell them about the book that Mike did. I love this because you can share it in multiple ways and it's free, right? Okay, so you learn about the Flipgrid shorts. And then once they're done with stations, they'll click here, done with stations, and it will take them to, okay, I need you to do your last reflection, and then I need you to record to submit your video on the Wakelet. See, same format. How they connect with me, and then at the end, it's just like, yes. My website. Oh, let me show you I think my website is next. Okay, so this is the website that I have, the self-serve teaching site that I have for teachers. I have 10 campuses, okay? There's no way I cannot connect with everybody. And then, yes, I do have 10 campuses, but then I go to somebody else's campus. So people know me, and then they always reach out to me. So I'm like, I have to have something, right? So the menu is at the bottom if they're in the phone, but I like the picture. I like the GIF. So I tell them like, this is me, welcome to Schoology, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll show you this on the main menu, the campuses and specialists, because if you have more than one campus, you've got to do this. This is the main menu. And here's where they self-serve. This is the DLC that we always have with hint, we're gonna have next week. So go to my website and click on that because it's free. All right, campus and specialists. So teachers don't know this. So they will find like my name. These are all the campuses that I have. So if you work at Hoover, you email me. I'm your person. Also, if, for example, if you are a teacher that teaches math, 3rd grade, she's your person. You need to email her for content, questions about technology, right? And then I'm right here at the bottom. So I am showing teachers who to reach directly because they don't know, and I don't want them to feel like I felt. So it's important that your teachers know who to contact. So that's why I have this. So I have my tech tips. When a teacher tells me, oh, Manny, WeVideo is not working, or Edpuzzle, how do I embed Edpuzzle? I send them the link, and I said, it's your first video on the right. And that's it. That's my answer. So I need to fix that video. I don't even know what video that is. I'm on vacation. Okay. I think I deleted the video. I don't know. But anyways, I have the most common questions that I get. I have the videos here. And teachers come and self-serve. So that sometimes they don't even ask me because they go. And then they find the answers themselves. So also here is my website again. I have some examples here. This is a copy of the actual class. This is not an active class. So feel free to go and peruse. I have more sessions down here, so you'll see how is it that I deliver content, things that I've done for other, conferences. So it's all in here. You have tons of examples in here. And what is this? Oh, this is my teacher website. So hopefully teachers will have something that looks like this for students. The student links is all the work that we were doing. So we were working on a passage. I'll have the passage here because they will lose it. And I'm like, okay, well, it's online. And then examples of nonfiction selections there. We will have poems, and it says, if you want the answers to this, you're going to have to go to Edpuzzle, and then they will go into Edpuzzle and then answer the questions there. But I did everything for my students. So if the student was absent, 0 excuses. It's all online. Okay. So it was there. So if I went to the hospital because my son has sickle cell, I have to go. Everything was there. So I didn't have to leave this ginormous 4 pages lesson plans for my sub. All I did is like, this is my website. Go there and then follow what I'm telling you there. So that's what I did. So for the parents, I have also link and resources. I have videos for parents in English and Spanish because I had students that spoke both. I have parents that spoke both English and Spanish. So so everything was there for teachers. So yeah, that was my super, there you go. I want to stop sharing my screen. And then we go back to my little pro right here. See, perfect timing is about 5 minutes.
You're so much fun.
Yeah. Let me
how long does it take you to make one of those videos?
Okay, so I think that was a question that I also got at ISTE. And this is why I don't like going to teachers' plannings, because that's the time that I use to create all my things. I'm like, don't think I'm planning, I'm making things. So sometimes whenever I'm creating like my tutorial videos, I will use the tutorial videos for multiple classes. So, but yeah, it takes a while. Like one full class, it can take me from 8 hours to like a day and a half, 14, 16 hours, depending on how intense I want it. Like the Flipgrid class I have is insane. It's ginormous because Flipgrid has so many features. So I do that, and my Google Sites class the same, just because there's so many things you could do. So I make it into a choice for them. So if they ask me, oh, how do I do this? Then I turn that into a station. Like somebody asked me, and I do it, that way. But it's an ongoing thing to update your classes. And if the platform changes, like Flipgrid does every year, is like, I have to do this all over again. But
you probably flying. You probably enjoy that.
I love it. Whenever I'm stressed out, I'll just make videos because that's
your place.
how I relax. Yeah, I don't
too. I love how on your WeVideo course for kids, you have like famous, like I'm gonna make you famous.
Yes.
Instead of like share your work, like it's that language that might get a kid to go, oh, I want to be famous, so I'm going to submit my work, And so I just love how you think about every single piece of this. And
you saw it there that it says you want people from the whole district to see your work. Yeah. And I did have some people that submitted. Kids are shy, but just like teachers, like they're going to try to do the best they can, and they're going to delete it and do it again and do it again, and they're practicing, which is exactly what we want.
Yeah, for sure. And so if anybody else in the chat has questions, feel free to drop them, but it sounds like everyone just loves you.
We have someone from Belgium.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
hey, Rob.
Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your knowledge of just online PD and creating that hands-on and that learning community where teachers are empowered. And they're right, like they don't need to share it with me. I know how to do Flipgrid.
Exactly. I wanted you to share it with somebody else.
Yeah. And then they can learn from them. Or, hey, this is a really cool lesson idea. And then I just see it. Well, that's me limiting it, And so many other teachers could learn from some of the teachers' ideas.
So true. And honestly, when I got that email and I started seeing that teachers within the class were making connections and they were like finding each other on the address book, like, oh my God, I feel like a parent, like so proud.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think too, like we've got to think about how can we not set that up as a barrier, like there's so many times where I'm like, oh, we're going to use Google Classroom, but that might not be the answer. And I know video is uncomfortable for you, but you got to get out of that comfort zone. I just love
Yeah.
how comfortable you make teachers feel.
Yeah, when I first started recording myself, I was very conscientious of my English because it was like I stumble. I think sometimes like, and you saw like throughout this session, I'm like, words. And it does not bother me anymore. It used to. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I have a message goes through. I convey that message, and it doesn't matter. Sometimes I conjugate verbs wrong, but kids get it, teachers get it, and that's the whole point.
Yeah. And I think they appreciate it, like,
yeah, because we're human.
Yeah, I think sometimes we're like, oh, I'm not going to share this because they'll think differently than me. But we get the total opposite response. And then you start to learn about their fears and failures and what they're really nervous to share with others. And it builds that relationship to a deeper level. But we do.
I like that. It makes you feel like it doesn't have to be perfect, because if you make it perfect, teachers get all like, "Ooh, I can't do that." It's kind of like when I was drawing, was showing my drawing to my first graders, like, I cannot do that. Like, it's fine. My videos are not. I mean, they're fun, but they're not perfect by all means. Like, yeah, the editing is not perfect, and I don't want to make it perfect. I just want to show you that you're not gonna look crazier than me. So just go ahead and do it.
For sure. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching today, and take some of these ideas. I'm going to throw the link back into the chat just for you. I'll also add it to that YouTube description, so that way you can just click and explore and start to create. But thank you, Manny, so much for sharing what you did at ISTE. I love you, and you're amazing.
Well, thank you for having me. Bye, guys.